Well, at a NATO summit today in the Netherlands, Donald Trump completely reversed himself on the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. A complete Trump reversal. And Donald Trump finally agrees with every president since World War II that NATO is a good thing and a good deal for the United States.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we're breaking down something huge, from a major flip by Trump at the NATO summit to wild claims about bombing Iran. Let's dive in.
It was something I'm supposed to be doing, but I left here a little bit differently. I said, I watched the heads of these countries get up, and the love and the passion that they showed for their country was unbelievable. I've never seen quite anything like it. They want to protect their country, and they need the United States. And without the United States, it's not going to be the same. Without the United States, they couldn't really have NATO. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. It will in the future because now they're paying much more money. But
first, Trump takes a 180 on NATO, calling it a good deal he once slammed as a ripoff. Let's get into why that's surprising and what it says.
The United States assessment of the bomb damage that Donald Trump's bombing of Iran delivered is inconclusive, which makes sense when you're trying to bomb things that are underground and hard to tell how much damage has been done. The Trump administration assessment of the bombing obtained by NBC News, quote, concludes that the U.S. airstrikes on Iran's nuclear enrichment sites were not as effective as Trump claimed, and that they set the Iran nuclear program back by only 3 to 6 months, which completely contradicts Donald Trump's claim that Iran's facilities were obliterated by the American bombing. Obliterated is Donald Trump's term, and only Donald Trump's term. No one else is saying that about the bombing.
He claims allies are paying more, true, but only because NATO members are boosting defense spending to support Ukraine. So Trump's new position isn't all it's cracked up to be.
I have, as you know, Marco Rubio with me and Pete Hegseth, Secretary of State and Secretary of War. Should we say Secretary? You know, it used to be called Secretary of War. Maybe for a couple of weeks we'll call it that because we feel like warriors.
We feel like warriors. Of course, Donald Trump feels like a warrior. Donald Trump, who evaded military service during the Vietnam War because he claimed his foot hurt, the same foot on which he spent the rest of his life playing endless miles of golf and never limping. There is no reason to believe that Donald Trump wasn't perfectly healthy enough to serve in the military during the war of his youth. But like most men who were eligible to serve in the Vietnam War at that time, Donald Trump was terrified of being sent to the jungles of Vietnam and becoming another statistic in the American military body count that was far greater than all of the war.
And now the plot twist. Trump says he obliterated Iran's nuclear program. But leaked U.S. intel scores it just a few months setback.
They're both tired, exhausted. They fought very, very hard and very viciously, very violently. And they were both satisfied to go home and get out. And can it start again? I guess someday it can. It could maybe start soon.
It could maybe start soon. Remember after Hitler killed himself in the bunker and World War II and Europe ended? Remember when President Harry Truman said, can it start again? I guess someday it can. It could maybe start soon.
Throwing around bombastic war language, we feel like warriors, while senior staff privately admit the damage is unclear.
If it does, we're always there. It won't be me, it'll be somebody else, but we're there. We'll have to do something about it.
So much for the president for life idea. Donald Trump is admitting that 4 years from now, he won't be president. And maybe the next president or the president after that or the president after that will have to deal with Iran again on nuclear weapons, which is exactly why President Obama and Secretary of State John Kerry successfully negotiated a deal with Iran in which Iran pledged in writing to never develop nuclear weapons and to allow the United States to monitor what they were doing inside Iran and inside their military facilities and allow international observers in there.
He even warns that conflict could restart after stating everything is done. That's not confidence. It's confusion. Then he admits Iran might rebuild, and that future presidents will have to deal with the problem. No deal, no leverage, just empty bravado. From flipping on NATO to exaggerating military wins, Trump's NATO speech is packed with contradictions. What do you think? Drop your thoughts below. Hit like if you enjoyed this breakdown, and don't forget to subscribe for more sharp takes. See you next time.